Okay, in this video we're going to have a look at 3 examples of index problems. So the first one, write 5 to the 3 plus 5 to the 7 all over 5 squared as a sum of powers of 5. The first thing you need to be aware of is that we can split the fraction into 2 distinct pieces. Okay, so I can write it as 5 cubed over 5 squared plus 5 to the 7 over 5 squared. Okay, now you can only do that when it's a plus or a minus. I've already seen people do it with multiplication, or well, there hasn't been a division question, but certainly a multiplication one, and you cannot use it for that, because otherwise at the bottom of the fraction you'll get a 5 squared and another 5 squared, which you multiply together make 5 to the 4, okay, which messes up your fraction. So you can write it like this: 5 cubed over 5 squared. So because that's a divide, we take the indices away from each other, so you get 5 to the 3 take away 2, so that's 5 to the 1. And here we've got 5 to the 5. Okay, so this is a sum of powers of 5. Okay, in this example, we've got write 8 times 16 to the minus 4 as a power of 2. Okay, so first things first, I would write 8 is equal to 2 cubed. Okay, so you've got that written down, and I would also write down that 16 is equal to 2 to the power 4, so that when I rewrite 8 times 16 to the minus 4, I can write that as 2 cubed times 2 to the 4 to the minus 4. Okay, so I've replaced the 8 with 2 cubed, and I've replaced the 16 with 2 to the 4. Okay, so that's 2 cubed. Now remember our index laws. Okay, I've got 4 times minus 4, so that's minus 16. 2 cubed times 2 to the minus 16, the indices get added together, so it's 2 to the minus 13. Okay, and that's your final answer there. Okay, in this last example, we've got x cubed times the square root of x times, in brackets, 4 root x plus 3 over root x. Okay, and we need to write that in the form ax to the m plus b x to the n. Okay, so how I would write this is I'll go, well, okay, I'll leave the x cubed alone, but any time I see a root x, I'm going to write instead x to the half. Okay, in brackets I've got 4 lots of x to the half, and I've got 3 lots of x to the minus a half, because it's at the bottom of a fraction. So on the outside we've got x cubed times x to the half. Well, that's x to the 7 halves. Okay, because 3 plus a half is 7 halves. Inside we've got 4x to the half plus 3x to the minus a half. So now multiplying the bracket out, I'm going to get 4x to the 7 halves times x to the half. So the two indices get added together. 7 halves and a half is 8 halves, which is 4. So it's 4x to the 4 plus 3 lots of x to the 7 halves, take away a half, so that's 6 halves, so that's 3. So I get 4x to the 4 plus 3x cubed, which is the format I wanted it in the first place.